Hey guys, what's up? Today I'll be ranking the entire Grandia series from worst to best. Now, there are only 7 games in the series, but only 5 of them are playable in English. And those are the ones I'm going to rank today. So let's begin! Alright, we're gonna start with Grandia Parallel Trippers. This one is a Japan exclusive spin-off of the first Grandia game for the Game Boy Color. A fan-translated version of it has been there for a while in case you wanna emulate it. It follows the story of 3 young students that get swallowed up by a mysterious vortex. This leads them separately to an alternate version of the world of Grandia. So the protagonist must find his 2 friends and then 3 keys to return to their world, all this with the help of the original cast in Grandia. Being completely in 2D with 8-bit rearrangements of the Grandia soundtrack, it's honestly not bad. Navigation though looks very Zelda-like, as if it were on a top-down view. In fact, dungeons and puzzles resemble the old Zelda series a lot for some reason. Battle system is played in turns, but not like in the other Grandia games. Actions here are based on cards that represent an attack, a skill, or a spell. The goal is to select the actions of your 3 party members to create combos and do massive damage, but you can also perform regular individual actions with any of them. Overall, it's a pretty short and fun adventure, but you really gotta be a die-hard fan of the first Grandia to truly enjoy it. Next up is Grandia Extreme. Another spin-off in the series is Grandia Extreme. This one was made for fans of the series that were craving for a challenge using the awesome battle system of the series. Evan is a ranger that can mysteriously activate ancient ruins. These are connected to the elemental disorder, a natural disaster that threatens the world, so Evan joins the Northeast army with a bunch of other characters to put a stop to it, while starting to distrust the army and even each other. So it is a spin-off, but it totally feels like its own full-fledged RPG. Exclusive to the PS2 though. However, it's more of a dungeon crawler than anything. Areas are larger to traverse, full of enemy encounters that are tougher than the usual monsters in the previous games. Battle system is very similar to the one in Grandia II, which pretty much evolved greatly from the first game. Up to 4 party members can join you in battle, each with their own learning skills. But as usual, you can equip different magics to any of them. This is a fun game, actually, but it's very challenging. In other words, in terms of gameplay, it's a hardcore version of the Grandia series. Like its name clearly implies, an extreme version. I never finished this game because it got too hard and repetitive for me, but if you absolutely love this series, you should give it a try. Coming up next, the first Grandia. The original Grandia was released on the PlayStation and the Sega Saturn. We only got the PS1 version, and later, it's HD remastered on the Switch and PC. It follows the adventures of Justin, who wants to go past the end of the world, a wall that separates their world from a lost civilization. But upon meeting other characters, he starts getting involved with an army with similar goals in mind. Grandia is a very colorful and charismatic RPG, full of personality. It plays in the traditional style of going from town to town with overworld maps and several different dungeons. It uses camera angles to help the player bypass certain areas, but it can also be somewhat wonky and troublesome at times. The battle system in Grandia was very innovative for its time. It plays in turns, but with a rolling gauge called the IP bar. It acts similar to an attack weighting bar, but applying to everybody. In these overhead layouts, characters fight and can also influence the turn order. Certain skills and critical attacks can be used to cancel an enemy attack or delay it, so planning your little strategies is the key to succeed in every battle. This is a great game, very memorable, and one that marked the start of an amazing series. We're all still hoping it comes back one day with a new game or at least a new remaster. The Saturn version got a spin-off called Digital Museum. It's just a game where Justin, Fina, and Sue go dungeon crawling. Navigation and battle system are identical to the original game. The goal is to unlock several features like artwork, soundtrack, storyboards, character portraits, and an arcade with several minigames. Too bad this version remained exclusive to Japan and it isn't fan translated. Next up, Grandia III. This is my favorite in the series and it should be number 1, but it isn't for reasons I'll explain in a bit. It's a PlayStation 2 exclusive developed by the same company, but now with Square Enix involved, which meant much better graphics, controls and gameplay, but also a cheesier story with more cliched characters. I still think it has a great plot though, but you can see the original writer, rest in peace, wasn't behind it. Yuki trains to be a legendary pilot, but one day he and his mother notice a fleeing girl in danger. Upon crashing in the forest, they rescue her and get involved in a sinister plot between Soren and the rest of the Guardian beasts. Like I said, the overall gameplay is superior in every way to its predecessors. Grandia, after all, is a series that just got better with each entry. Combat is the epitome of it, which perfected the battle mechanics. It's still ruled by an IP bar and you can create all sorts of combos, cancels, delays and several different magic attacks. However, Grandia 3 also suffers from some serious difficulty spikes. Every now and then you'll face some really brutally challenging enemies that can kill you in a few hits, but some bosses are 10 times worse and can be painfully unfair. Grinding and abusing the IP system, however, will strongly work to your advantage, so it isn't that hard. Overall, it's almost a masterpiece and definitely a great game that doesn't deserve the hate. And number 1, Grandia II. Grandia II is a daring game that explores religious themes, making the church as the primary antagonist. Ryudo is a mercenary that gets hired by them to protect one of their maidens, called Elena. But Elena is possessed by Millennia, a demon looking for the pieces of Valimar, the ancient god of darkness. Ryudo and party will then start a journey to prevent this while dealing with Millennia at the same time. Plot and character development here is strong and it's the darkest of the series. The gameplay in Grandia 2 is governed by fully 3-dimensional models and areas. Camera issues were fixed, although they can still present some small hassles, especially in the PS2 version, which lags sometimes when running around. The battles introduced a new feature. Characters can now run to get a better position or even retreat after attacking. The IP bar is back, improved this time with a better interface, so you can still cancel or delay the enemy with different skills and critical attacks. Overall, it's a fantastic evolution from the first combat system. Music is just as good, perhaps even better. In conclusion, and in my opinion, it surpasses the first Grandia in every sense of the word. The only reason it beat Grandia 3 is because it has a better story and characters, the best in the series actually. Plus, it doesn't have those huge difficulty spikes, though it can still be pretty challenging. Great game, available on the PS2, PC and Dreamcast, remastered on the Switch and PC. Alright guys, that's my ranking of the Grandia series, at least the ones that are playable in English. If you have a different ranking, let me know in the comment section below. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends. See you next time!